Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
As the dust gradually settles over the unveiling of Prince Shola Emiko as the Olu designate of Warri Kingdom, what has become clear to everyone is that the 1979 Bendel State Traditional Rulers and Chiefs Edict, stating the customary law regulating succession to the title of Olu of Warri, presents more problems than solutions to the selection process. The Itsekiris from across the divide seem to agree on one thing, that is, the edict needs to be amended. They say until an amendment is done, the Itsekiri nation will always witness crisis whenever the need arises for the selection of a new Olu.
The first edict was faulted by many people. Even some people went to court, 1979 edict. So some people saw it as a traditional fraud. That some group of persons used their influence to do that edict for their selfish interest so that they can have authority over Itsekiri.
Just like many other Itsekiri people, Chief Johnson Amashunrelege, the Iyashere and acting Ologbosere of Warri, believes that the 1979 edict governing the selection process to the exalted position of Olu of Warri was rigged against Itsekiri interest. This lack of faith in the edict and the many contradictions therein continue to generate disagreements over the criteria for the determination of candidates for the revered Olu Stool of Warri Kingdom. Little wonder, therefore, that upon Chief Amashunrelege's presentation of 37-year-old Prince Shola Emiko as Olu designate, certain voices of objection emerged within the Itsekiri nation. Their grouse was that the young prince fell short of the requirements stipulated in paragraph 4 of the 1979 edict for qualification to become the monarch of Warri Kingdom, since his mother is of Yoruba origin. Legal practitioner and the AKUGHA of Warri Kingdom, Chief Robinson Areyo, picks holes in the edict.
The declaration that you are calling edict itself did not mention Bini, it mentioned Edo origin. So when you speak of Edo origin, necessarily you are speaking both of Bini and Yoruba, the 5 core communities that are central to Itsekiri today. They all migrated from Yoruba land. Omadino, Ugborodo, and the 3 others, they are from Yoruba. So any attempt to use pencil, ink, or biro to sever Yoruba from our aboriginal history is an infraction.
Knowing that the edict was faulty, former Olu of Warri Ogame Atuashe attempted to make corrections to paragraph 4 by invoking the Afomasin to make a proclamation including Yoruba as one of the tribes and intending Olu's mother must hail from. The proclamation is supposed to be binding on all Itsekiris. However, one of the kingmakers of Warri Kingdom, the Oshodi of Warri, Chief Isaac Jemide, legal practitioner, says the proclamation is inferior to the edict.
You cannot make a proclamation which amends the law. Otherwise, all of us will be making proclamation. It's personal opinion.
Apart from the issue with paragraph 4, there are other contentious issues in the edict. Prince of Warri Kingdom and member of Guinewa One ruling house, Harrison Jala, says the 1979 edict was rigged in favor of the Emiko lineage in the ruling house. He says paragraph 2 of the edict, which stipulates that succession is limited to only the descendants of the last 3 Olus, is just a way of ensuring that only the Emikos can ascend the throne, which ordinarily should be open to all princes of Warri Kingdom.
The edict is contradictory in so many sections. It stated clearly that those who are qualified to become monarchs in the Itsekiri lands will emerge from the Guinewa ruling house. And down the line, in the same edict, they restricted it to the last 3 kings. I'm for the Rishemone lineage in the Itsekiri kingdom. And we are princes in that lineage, and we are also qualified to put on the crown. That crown must move from one lineage to the other.
Prince Harrison Jala, who says he is in full support of Prince Shola Emiko ascending the throne as the next Olu of Warri, insists that his opposition to the provisions of the edict is to ensure that in future all princes will be eligible to contest for the throne. In order to enthrone a smooth process for selection of an Olu and avoid possible crisis whenever the Itsekiris need to crown a new monarch, Chief Isaac Jemide says the Itsekiri must go back to government and ensure an amendment of the edict.
There's a due process for amending a law. The people who do the law, you go back to them. You know, it's a government instrument. It's an edict. You know, a declaration made under the traditional ruler, and Chief's Edict, 1979. So we would have gone back to amend it. It's proclamation, whatever it says, cannot amend this edict.
There is need to interpret the contents of that edict and amend where it is necessary, and ensure that the edict itself is acceptable to all the lineages in the Itsekiri kingdom.
Meanwhile, as the reconciliation of all parties continues, Chief Edward Ekpopo, chairman of Itsekiri Leaders of Thought, says in the interest of the Itsekiri nation, all parties will eventually be reconciled.
Itsekiri generally will say Itsekiri PLC, Itsekiri people, land and crown. And the Itsekiri people, the land, is united by the crown. You see? So that is why we cannot allow the crown to be denigrated in any form whatsoever. So that is the essence of our serious engagement and mediation at this level. That this thing does not, the whole thing does not, snowball into a bigger. But so far, so good.
We'll find a way of amending this thing and move on in the spirit of reconciliation, in the spirit of Itsekiri ethnicity, so that we don't go on with court and that and delay and all that and make this thing more rigorous, and uncomfortable for us.
As the Itsekiri people gear up for the coronation of Prince Shola Emiko as the 21st Olu of Warri, what may turn out to be a royal assignment for him may be the midwifing of an amended and acceptable law governing the future selection process of an Olu of Warri Kingdom.
Inside the Niger Delta,